Hey guys, it's Exotical Sauce with another video, and today I wanted to talk about Kendra G singles. And this particular guy right here, Kendra G is one of my faves, too. I like watching her show. She has some of the funniest guests, I say some of the funniest things. But this guy is 54 years old, he never been married, he has a 12-year-old son, and he is looking for a 35-year-old woman. He says he wants more children, and he's looking for a 35-year-old young lady to come into his life so he can reproduce and have more kids. At the start of the show, he kept like moving around and stuff, trying to angle the camera from a perspective where you could see his, I guess, quote unquote, Basquiat paintings. And these are some of the examples of what a Basquiat painting looks like for those who don't realize or don't know. This is also a picture of the artist. Those paintings look like something nightmares are made out of, quite honestly. And if I woke up in the middle of the night and was walking through a dark room and saw one of those paintings staring back at me, I'd probably piss myself. But that is what he wanted everyone to see. Those paintings are, some are expensive, some are not. But he's in an apartment, living by himself. I doubt if those are real Basquiat paintings. So he proceeded to tell her that basically he doesn't want anybody that's old. I guess what he considers old, I guess, would be his age. He's a middle-aged man, although people in the comment section said instead of 54, he's probably 74 because that's how he looks. So he started to tell Kendra that women who are older and can't reproduce anymore are basically the equivalent of discarded items that belong in a thrift store. So this is how he feels about women who are older or women who are his age. He would like to have a 35-year-old young woman with daddy issues, particularly because she could be submissive and she could be guided, quote unquote, by him. Anything that she didn't get from having a father, he could fulfill that role. He was basically describing like a traditional wife, someone who is just home, just kind of tending to the kids, cleaning the house, cooking his dinner, washing his clothes. She has to be 35 years old, at least, I'm guessing, and she has to have daddy issues. And it's just really funny how a lot of male content creators can just flood social media with video after video after video of like anti-modern woman rhetoric about how the women they demand too much, they wear weaves. I mean, it's just the same talking points. They wear weaves, they're too fat, they don't watch their waistlines, they're too short, they're broke, they're old, they hit the wall. Just like a constant like barrage of insults directed towards women, especially older women who are out in the dating market, who may be divorced or widowed, and yeah, some of them have never been married. But these guys sit up on their high horse they sit on their high horses like they had nothing to do with today's modern woman. I mean, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And for the first 100 or 200 years or so of this country's inception, women did not have any rights. All those wars and everything were started by men. Women did not have the rights to vote. They didn't have the rights to earn money. They didn't have the right to own property. They didn't have the right even over their own bodies. Everything had to get the approval of their husbands. And I feel like if there were, if women's rights were respected from the get-go, then there wouldn't have been a need for the women's suffrage movement. And so I feel like men nowadays need to really take responsibility and kind of like take some accountability for how today's modern woman, quote unquote, is like behaving, quotation marks, because right now all they talk about is, well, they wear weaves and they're too fat. They just talk about the end result, but they don't talk about how this started. Like, men honestly have never really respected, like, they've had traditional wives for hundreds of years, and they have never made marriage desirable to women. They have never made it beneficial for women. So what honestly would make a woman say, I'm ready to settle down and be someone's wife? Of course, they're going to do it when they're older, because when you're in high school, you're too young and too impressionable, inexperienced, and you don't know anything about life. Your parents are going to strongly disagree with you getting married early, or they're going to discourage it. They want you to go to school. They want you to figure out life, find out who you are first before you make a commitment like that. That's how American parents have always been. No one encourages their kids right out of high school to get married and have children and settle down so early. I mean, it happens sometimes, and sometimes the end result is a success story and people stay married for years, and other times it's not a success story. But the ultimate, like the one who pays the ultimate price and who really gets stuck with the kids is the woman. And I don't mean to make it sound like mean or anything. I love kids. I love my own kids. I don't consider raising them to be quote unquote stuck, but I mean, the onus is on the woman to take care of them. The man can basically leave the home and do whatever he wants to. And a lot of these content creators act like they don't have prison records. They act like they haven't been repeated offenders. They act like they have high paying jobs. And it's not just the content creators, it's the subscribers. It's a lot of the passport bros. It's a lot of the American men in general. Because back when, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, women were married to them. They did everything that was expected of a wife. They were loyal. I guess for the most part, they were loyal. They, and if they weren't, they would get the hell beat out of them, or killed or something. And nothing was done about it because they didn't have any rights. So men have never respected the sanctity of marriage. They cheat on their wives, always have cheated on their wives, left and right, with the damn secretary, the assistant, the babysitter. I mean, some of these farm owners even cheat with sheep. They go out and sleep with their damn sheep. I remember my dad was driving a Greyhound bus a long time ago, Lord rest my dad's soul. And driving for Greyhound, he got a chance to meet a lot of different people. And there would be farmers that would get on the bus, of course, and they'd be talking with the driver and other passengers. And then the farmers would mention that they would go out and sleep with the sheep, basically have relations with the animals. So they said that it kept them home at night, and they would laugh it off. I mean, how many people actually were there to witness in high school where like there'd be like this it girl all throughout high school, and the guys, everybody liked this one girl. She was the hottest girl in school. Everybody wanted to go out with her. And then when she finally did agree to date one of the guys, football team or whoever, they would, get carried away and go all the way. And the young lady would come up pregnant. And so had she not told her boyfriend that she were pregnant, the relationship would continue. But the only reason why a lot of boyfriends walked away from their pregnant girlfriends, or pregnant teen girlfriends, was the fact that she was pregnant. So men will leave a woman, have always done this. They have a whole history of this. Like, this is not a secret. And I remember as a Gen Xer when women got fed up with the way guys treat women, and as a teenager, I remember them. They just decided to change. Like, we're gonna be grimy and we're gonna treat you guys just the same way you guys have been treating us. So if you want what's between our legs, we want what's in your wallet. And we're gonna, clown you and talk about you and raise our standards too. And in this day and age, if I accidentally get like pregnant with your kid, I can just go and abort it. And no judgment if you have abortions, or if you, believe in it, in abortions. No judgment. That's your life. It's your decision. I personally don't believe in it, but I mean, to each his own, like, no judgment. So, yeah, so they had abortions, and they weren't tied to the guy anymore. And, nowadays women don't want to have children. They don't see any incentive in getting married anymore. And the guys act like they're very mad about it. And a lot of this content that I'm seeing, like anti-modern woman content, where like some guys will make content that's all their content is about, just sitting around bashing women all day long, every video. And to me, that's basically telling me how female-centered that they are. Because if every day you're talking about something that you can't stand, something that you can't hate, something that you do hate and you can't stand, and you're talking about the weaves and how how repulsed you are by these women with the makeup and they're overweight, they're this and they're that. You spend a lot of time thinking about something you don't want. I mean, it used to be a time when women would sit around in their gossip circles with their other girlfriends who were married, a long time ago, before I was born, when being a traditional wife was the thing. They would talk about how to be cute and how to be beautiful, how to go to bed beautiful and moisturized and smelling good for your husband. And when he came home, you had to have dinner done and house clean and, makeup done and to look presentable for your husband. And he still cheated. He still cheated with the secretary. He still cheated around with whoever, the lady down the street or the broad across town. Everybody knew it but you. Your gossip circle knew it. His family knew it. Your family knew it. The last person to find out was the actual wife. I mean, it's just been a whole history where American men never really valued marriage. And I'm not, gonna lie. I watched my mother suffer when she was a traditional wife. She stayed home as a housewife. My dad went out and worked. He made significantly less money than my mom made. My mom actually hurt herself on her job, so she couldn't work. So she stayed home with us. And my mom was miserable. My dad was a little chauvinistic. My dad also had a few insecurities. So, I mean, even like, okay, my mom, she's very light skinned. She has like West African features. She has the big, thick, full lips like Tisha Campbell. She has a wider nose than me and 4C thick, coarse hair. She was tender-headed too. So she wanted to cut her hair off and dye it red and have like red glasses to match. At that time, that was of course the 80s and 90s and stuff, but Lord rest my mom's soul too. But yeah, so she wanted to change her hair. My dad, he wanted her to keep her hair long, and by my mom being so male-centered and not really having too many dating experiences before him, he was her first and last. So she completely conceded to my dad all the time, and by him being the breadwinner and she hadn't worked in years and he was chauvinistic. He felt he could say what he wanted to say to her. She couldn't say anything back, really. She didn't want to say anything back. It would be a knockdown, drag out argument. If she painted her nails, it would be a knockdown, drag out argument. If she did something different to her hair or stayed out too long at the grocery store, it would be knockdown, drag out arguments. So, and I watched this as a kid thinking, damn, what the hell? What is the benefit in this? I don't want to be married if that's what it means. If I have to give up my freedoms and submit to some guy and have him dictate to me how I can dress and wear my hair, whether I can wear makeup or not, where I can go, how long to be out, fuck that. And by my mom, when she had my youngest brother, she suffered from postpartum depression. And then by her being in the house all day, all night, every single day, not really going out, because my dad was antisocial, so he never would take her out on dates or anything. So she just kind of suffered in silence. And so when my mom just kind of let herself go. She gained weight. She never really did her hair. She didn't paint her nails. She didn't do anything that women do, even though she wanted to. She didn't have the money. We were always broke. We could never take a vacation or a trip. We couldn't do much as kids. And yeah, so my mom, she suffered and she died early. She died young. So because of that, I understand even in relationships how important it is to decenter the man. You don't let him walk around thinking he's the prize. You both are prizes to each other. You should be, at least. And just to establish boundaries early, because if somebody has the power to rule over you, they certainly will do it. you know and I know a lot of these misogynistic guys who get on like social media and make like anti-modern woman content, or who agree with the content. I know a lot of them have daughters, are going to have daughters eventually in life, and I know they don't want their daughters subjected to that kind of stuff, where guys controlling them and telling them how to dress or whatever. Because, I mean, a lot of guys really, if we're being honest, a lot of them can't lead. I mean, they lead, at least American men. A lot of them can, but a lot of them can't. A lot of American men typically want to rule with like aggression, or they weaponize the relationship and threaten to leave and stuff. So if you don't have any power and you're just totally dependent on him, I feel like they have you right where they want you, and you should never give anybody that kind of power, whether you're a man or a woman. I make sure that I tell my kids that all the time. Keep your job, keep your car, keep your house, keep your money. Like, don't stop working. Don't depend on any one person. I don't care what they tell you about, yeah, be a traditional wife and whatever. Those days are long gone. And when those days were here, those days were not glamorous at all. The women suffered. I mean, anytime a man got frustrated, he can come home and beat the hell out of his wife. There's nothing she could say. There was no recourse. She had to depend on him for a place to live, her food, or transportation. She had children, so she couldn't move around that well. I mean, what is in it? Where is the benefit for women to be a traditional wife? Who wants to go back to those days? I mean, a lot of guys like taunt women and say things like, yeah, I got a mail order bride, or, some chick from another country wants us. And yeah, we got our passports and we're not dealing with you American women anymore. I mean, they say that like it's a bad thing. I mean, men sit up on their damn high horses like they're just prizes, and that women, the older they get, I mean, yeah, women have a desire to get married, but they feel like these women are just completely, totally out of options. And it doesn't help for women to get up on social media and say that too. Yeah, we're at the bottom and we don't have any options and we may die alone and never get married. I mean, would that be a bad thing too? Because I understand people get lonely and they want companionship, but look at the quality of companionship that you're getting. I mean, a lot of these guys have prison records. A lot of them are illiterate. A lot of them don't earn that much money. A lot of guys don't have any financial literacy, because even regardless how much you own, if you have how much you earn, I'm sorry, if you have financial literacy and you know how to invest it, it can go a long way even if you make minimum wage. And a lot of guys don't have that. They have smoking habits and drinking habits and, corn habit. And let's not forget the guys who encourage this bad behavior from a lot of women. Like, if you ever notice like those videos where they have like these ghetto girl fights, there's like, for every one of those kinds of videos, there's some dude standing up there in the background with a video camera, like with his phone, videoing this shit, laughing, instigating, like, damn, shorty, she beat your ass, laughing and everything like that. And that makes the woman feel like this is cute. And what about the rap videos and the R&B videos that we grew up looking at? I mean, they basically tell young, impressionable viewers that this is cute, this is what you should look like, this is what men want. They want the video vixen type girl. They want the girl with the extra hair, the girl with the extra makeup, with the extra nails, the scantily dressed, little skimpy outfits. This is what we want. And then when women do it, they talk shit. Same thing with the teenage boys, too. A lot of teenage boys ended up in gangs and in jail watching and looking up to rappers, and they didn't have stable parents to give them guidance and teach them things and tell them that, hey, this is just a persona, that's not real. You have young, impressionable viewers, male and female, that grew up really believing that these rappers and these singers and these celebrities really live that way, and they really don't. Let's not forget Kevin Samuels. He's got all these guys walking around here saying, yeah, we're high value men. But to me, I think what makes a person, man or woman, high value is not what's in their pocket. It's what is in their head, and it's their character. If they're loyal and they're attentive and they're sweet and they're giving, they're compassionate, they're forgiving, they're loving, put family first. Those would be the kind of qualities in a mate or a friend that I would want to be around. A companion, platonic or romantic. Those are the kind of people I want to surround myself with. So, yeah, I think these guys need to take some accountability and stop pretending that they're not the Pookies and the Dusties that they talk about. Stop pointing at, well, you got 3 baby daddies, and it's by them Negroes over there. I'm not a baby daddy. Yeah, you probably do have kids that you knew about since you were a teenager. You just don't take care of them or see them or acknowledge them or want anything to do with them. So it is great to have companionship. It can be, but just do the intelligent thing and vet them first. Bring back the importance of courtship, waiting years before you, or months or whatever. So your choice. Relationships are subjective, but just really vet the person. Just remember that time reveals all, and be careful. But that's my rant. What do you guys think? Just let me know in the comments, and I'll see you later.